Good evening, vampires, werewolves, and other nocturnal beings. I got thrown off by the White Claw. It was a bit delayed.
The first time I've done it.
Welcome to Tiddies By Night, a Vampire the Masquerade actual play run entirely by creatures of marginalized genders and presented by Tabletop Tiddies. My name is Kelly, and my pronouns are they, them, and I will be your storyteller for tonight. But before we dive into the episode, we want to acknowledge the colonial history of Canada and how Canada has and continues to take from Indigenous people. The effects of colonization are still felt to this day. Just a few days before recording this episode, over 215 bodies of Indigenous children were found in an unmarked grave at a residential school in Kamloops. We acknowledge that this episode is being recorded on the stolen land of the Secwepemc, Semiahmoo, Katzie, Kwantlen, Musqueam, Squamish, Tulalip, Waytooth, and Coastal Salish First Nations. With me, I am joined by the investigators of the occult and unusual.
Hello, my name is Emily Matchette. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Imogen White, who is a salubri, and her pronouns are also she, her.
Hey everybody, I'm Charlene Bear. My pronouns are she, her. I play Octavia Smith, the Tremere, and her pronouns are also she, her.
Hello. My name is Rachel Theilade. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be playing Evelyn Stormloft, the Nosferatu, whose pronouns are also she, her.
We have a few ad reads for y'all, and I am first. Rocket your accessories to new heights with nerdy and gay Vancouver-based Rocketman props. Their enamel and laser-cut wood pins and waterproof coasters come in all your favorite franchises. Their enamel potion pins will make sure that you always have that health potion on you when you need it. And you're gonna need it. Especially tonight. Worry not, though. Any order over $35 ships to Canada and the US. Plus, if you use the promo code TIDDIES with double D's, you can get 20% off their store at rocketmanprops.com. That's rocketmanprops.com to save the day.
Nice.
Oh, just kidding. It's not me.
Wait a minute.
Not me it.
The world saw Emily in her PJ shorts.
Fine. It's freaking hot outside. Like I'm wearing pants at all.
I'm gonna do my ad read now. Quiet. Now, I play a vampire on Tiddies by Night, but out of game, a vampire stake is critical to protecting yourself from the undead. McPhee's Wizard Shop can help you select the perfect stake. Traditionally, ash and white oak will drop a vampire in one shot, but there's also cherry, walnut, maple for other color options. All handmade from solid wood, sanded and finished by hand. For magic users, their stunning wands enable you to cast spells effortlessly, and their runes will help you see what is to come. The runes have told me that when the masquerade falls, we're gonna need to be prepared. Prepare yourself at macfies.com. That's MACFIES.com.
Let's get geeky. Geeky Tendencies Game Gear is here to geek up your tabletop and keep your game running smoothly. Their dice bags, complete with pockets that fit all your gear, and spell books, perfect for keeping track of your spell cards and abilities, will help you stay organized and fashionable. When you pull out your Geeky Tendencies Game Gear whilst adventuring, everyone will be asking where you had your matching dice bag and collapsible dice tray. So adventure on over to Geeky Tendencies on Etsy or geekytendencies.com.
Hey. And as per usual, we are using Sirenscape this evening to help make our stream more atmospheric, more fun, more spooky, more everything. You can use it too. It's free at Sirenscape.com. Yay!
And last but certainly not least, it is time for our Twitch shout out. This week, we are shouting out Dork Tales. Dork Tales is the home of fantastic stories and epic friendships told by a passionate cabal of creatives from the Pacific Northwest. They're a story-first, fun-focused group that strives to provide a welcoming, inclusive, supportive, and accessible experience for diehard fans and casual viewers alike. Right now, their lineup includes both official and original Dungeons & Dragons adventures, including their own homebrew world, Elos, Land of the Wandering Gods, as well as Cyberpunk Red and more. And on July 25th, join them for a triumphant return of the World of Darkness with the new weekly Mage the Ascension Chronicle set in the Victorian era.
That's where we are.
That's where we are. With full costuming and an all-femme cast. You'll love to see it. To join the party, visit twitch.tv/dorktales for live episodes and VODs, or check out their back catalog at youtube.com/dorktales.
Full costuming in this heat is
I
tremendous.
I feel kind of bad. Not gonna lie.
No.
As a disclaimer, there will be ice clinking in this episode because it is so hot.
I'm not wearing my wig if you're watching live.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
With that said, though, previously on Tiddies by Night, the investigators of the occult and unusual had a run-in with a poltergeist, possibly the ghost of Frederick Carby himself. They were forced to leave the Carby estate, leaving Henrietta and a now slightly calmed by Imogen spirit behind. Back at the IOU agency, Octavia went to work researching the type of spirit in question, while Imogen helped.
Kelly.
Meanwhile, Evelyn went for a quick snack run, which almost turned into a full-blown frenzy across the city of London. Luckily, she quenched her thirst and returned to the agency unharmed. Octavia discovered that the spirit must be tethered to this world either by an item of importance or the body itself. With this new information, the coterie fell into sleep, deciding in the next evening to split up for more clues. After waking and preparing for the night, Octavia went to the Tremere Chantry, Evelyn went to spy on the Giovannis with her trusty ghoul, and Imogen returned to the Widow Carby's home. There she witnessed a shadowy woman enter the home, investigate the attic, and declare it's almost time to harvest. So, thinking back on this part of the case, Imogen, what were you thinking at this time?
Harvest what? I'm very confused right now, I've got to be honest with you. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little uneasy about the whole situation.
I feel like most of Imogen's case reports will declare that at some point.
Maybe.
Can't spoil the future. Who knows?
Yeah. Evelyn.
Probably.
Evelyn? Oh, well, Evelyn's chilling with William right now. I think I'm more interested in what these Giovannis have to hide and what they're up to. I mean, not that I'm not concerned for Henrietta's well-being, but I think perhaps I'd rather worry about the information that I can gain than mortals. So,
Oof.
sorry, not sorry.
Wow.
And Octavia.
I need to know what sort of rituals we are dealing with here. What are the Giovanni up to? Visiting the Chantry may help me gain some insight, but I'm worried that with them being the Hakata clan, that there may not be the information I'm seeking there. But hopefully I get some guidance.
All right. We are going to return to Imogen at the moment. You have just heard that this strange woman has declared that it is almost time to harvest, and she has confirmed that she has found something in the home itself. Are you going to stick around and continue to spy on her nonchalantly across the way?
Yeah. I got my perception, my listening ears turned way up.
All the way up. You've got that
up.
dial
The
turned all the way
gain,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. That's what I tell my preschoolers. Listening ears are turned on.
So you hear her walk around in the attic for a while, and then return down the stairs, reclosing the hatch, and joins Mrs. Carby downstairs, where she has been waiting patiently. And you hear the woman say, "Dear Henrietta, I am afraid that Fred is feeling quite disturbed at this moment, but luckily I was able to get him back. He did almost slip away from us. It seems that the presence of those people that you mentioned were not doing him any good. But if you wish for him to continue to be stronger, and of course not lose him, I recommend that you sever all communication with those charlatans.
Yeah.
You then hear Henrietta sort of like mid-sob kind of say, "Oh, thank you very, very much. I apologize. I know you told me to stay away from them, but I swear they just sort of showed up one day. I should be expecting another caretaker soon, and I think things should get back to normal, and it's good to hear that Fred's doing okay." And the woman sort of acknowledges and says, "Well, I must be off. These rituals are quite tiring, and I need to return home and inform the others." And you hear her leave, open the door, leave, and close it behind her. And Henrietta is left alone, and you kind of hear her like sobbing a bit more and kind of steadies herself. Do you continue listening?
Yeah.
Give me a wits and awareness.
Butt ton of dice.
Heck yes.
Whoop,
Hold up here.
I mean, we're all good at something.
And that's my added extra 3. Hold up.
Holy cow.
Jeez. Oh yeah, that's right, because you do have heightened senses on.
Yeah.
Running out of right amount of dice, right? That can't be right.
Get like 11 successes.
I mean, it is possible to run out of dice. I'm pretty sure. I think Shart has come the closest to doing that.
On a different show.
Yeah.
The one that we do not speak of.
4 successes and 2 of them were 10, so 6 successes or that 5.
Nice.
6, yeah. Yeah.
With 6 successes, you can confirm hearing the like clops of her, is that the right word? Heels,
Okay.
that the lady has in fact left. And after a while, Henrietta sort of like tidies herself up, and you can hear her walking back up the stairs. Are you looking at the house itself while you're listening, or just kind of sort of like off to the side at the moment?
I think if my listening is good enough, I would probably just continue staring down at my notebook.
Okay. So you hear Henrietta walking up the stairs and moving closer to around the office area. And you hear her sort of like breathe heavily and says, "Oh, Fred, I'm so happy that you're okay. This place just wouldn't be the same without you. First thing tomorrow, I'll tell those people that everything's been dealt with and I don't need their help. Why, I should send the constabulary after them." And you sort of hear...
Rude.
You sort of hear some of the like wood in the office being moved, like some of the heavy wood of the house being moved and sort of like creaking and settling a bit. And she says, "All right, Fred, I'm going to go to sleep now. You rest up, and I love you." And she sort of walks back into bed and starts spending some time getting herself ready for bed.
That's so sad.
What are you doing?
What time is it right now?
You get up around like 6-ish, and it's like an hour to get there. So I'd say you've probably been there at this point about an hour and a half. So that's...
In my notes, it was 10 p.m. when we heard the chanting.
Was it?
I specifically wrote it down.
All right. Then it is.
Nice.
Then it is about 11.
I think I'll head back
Okay.
to the IOU to report back.
But what's in the attic? No!
So you head back to Fiend, and just kind of, she's just kind of still tied up and seems pleasant at the moment. And you're gonna start clipping back.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I didn't turn on the music.
Drama.
Oh my god.
I hear rain.
Perfect. All right, so are you going to be doing anything on your way back then?
No.
All right, give me another wits and awareness then.
Ah!
Listen, it's a active city. Shit happens.
Do I still get my? I haven't turned off my heightened senses, so I still get.
It's up to you if you want to keep it on.
Well, is it listening based? Whatever. Not to like super metagame here, but like I think it only counts if it's like a listening based thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
but the danger is that if you come across something really loud, you could take damage.
Yeah, I think it also only lasts a scene technically, and I think at this point the scene has transitioned. So
Yeah. You could do it again though if you wanted to.
yeah, you can turn. I guess like this is more of a passive one. Like unless Imogen is actively like scoping shit out, I don't know if she would have the foresight to be like throwing up senses again.
Yeah.
Well, if it's late and if it's raining, I'm gonna turn my eyeballs on it.
Ooh,
Ooh, there you go.
like Sam Fisher is just.
Four successes.
Okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything.
All that for that.
Listen, sometimes there's plot hooks out in the world, and if you don't notice it, then you don't notice it. But yeah, so you pass past Hyde Park, which at this point you're pretty much used to hearing like howls and stuff and activity coming from there. And you head back towards the headquarters of the investigators of occult and unusual. Meanwhile, Octavia, you are heading towards the Chantry, and I even have a address for it.
Ooh.
It is located at 166 Holloway Road, Islington, because it is located in a college. Islington. It's one of the bureaus, and actually that's the address of the university. So on your way there, it is within walking distance, kind of. Might take you a while.
I will carry my trusty umbrella. That looks super fab and like lacy on the edges. Got some nice little ruffles there. Octavia is nothing if not ostentatious.
I mean, you're all vampires. All vampires are extra as fuck.
Yeah, she'll start heading down the street.
All right. Yeah, it's still relatively early when you head out. So at this point, there's a few people walking by. You see like couples with umbrellas and people just enjoying a nightly stroll. The storm.
Well, I don't see them.
That's true. Sorry.
I hear them though.
You can hear them sort of like murmuring to each other. The storm is still over London. It has not passed, as it is been raining pretty much nonstop. And you make your way to the college. You find your way with help of Prophet to the regular spot of the entrance of the Chantry, as it is not a easily accessible location for mortals. There's a small plaque sitting up against a relatively normal wall of the college, and you can sort of like brush your hand across it and feel it.
I'll grab it with both my hands and sort of like lift it forward. And I'll turn it completely clockwise and shove it back into place.
It does not do anything.
Shit, did I turn it the wrong way?
Yeah.
I turn it the other way. No. You could have just played with it. Come on.
No, I sent you the guide on how to do this.
Savage.
Anti-clockwise.
Just as rude as Henrietta, but go on.
Yeah. So you do the proper mechanism, and the wall you hear actually like dislodges, and the heavy stone just opens as you are allowed entrance into the Chantry, and you hear just like the stone mechanism of the gargoyle that is standing guard of the entrance.
Always a pleasure to come across you, sir.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Prophet, let's go. Hurry up.
You and Prophet head down the stairway. There's like a railing that leads you down deeper into the Chantry. And as you are heading in, you begin to hear music playing from inside of the common area and an electrical hum that travels through the wall. And as you continue down the stairway, you hear your own footsteps on the hardwood beneath you. And as you step off the final step of the stairway, you feel the familiar sort of like rush as you walk past a ward attached to the wall as your blood is permitted to enter. And you notice right now, sort of listening around, that it seems to be empty at the time. But you know that there are several chambers in various directions in the Chantry itself.
Would I know which sort of like area is it? How is this Chantry divided in terms of information? Or do I think I should ask someone to help me, please?
No, so for Tremere, the Chantry is almost like a second haven. For some, it's like their haven in general. So you would know all of the areas of this. There are places for like ancient artifacts. There's the library. There's zones for like performing rituals and or like teaching rituals.
I want to go there.
To the ritual zone?
Yes. Octavia, I'm on the lookout for what... I need more information on the exact ritual that was happening. Don't you think, Prophet?
You would probably want to go to the library for that then?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Then I'll go to the library.
The ritual chambers are like literally
for
like...
practicing and actually doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. Then yeah, the library is good.
All right, so yes, the library, or the Chantry itself is almost set up like spokes of a tire. There's like the common area and then doors leading off in various directions to the different chambers. And you're quite familiar with all of the directions at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you head towards the library. I still have the clippy clops.
And I'm gonna close my umbrella and sort of like leave it by the door so that if anyone comes in, they would know I'm in here.
All right, sure. Yeah, there's several like gargoyles that wander around the Chantry, sort of like maintaining and cleaning. So there would probably be someone to like make sure that it's not stolen.
Cool.
Although, at this point, it'd be weird for anybody in here to steal anything.
Thanks, Frank. I just say aloud.
That's not my name.
Sorry, Sam. One of these days, I'm going to find something you'll like.
Doubtful. As you...
I love.
You can, you know that, like, they're just tempted to break your umbrella at this point.
That's so amazing.
Megan? Perhaps it's a Megan.
Nothing.
All right, I'll see you later.
As you enter the library, you sort of, like, feel the weight, just the sudden, like, lack of sound in here, as the air is just padded from all of the ancient tomes and whatnot. And it smells like old paper, as well as wood polish from like the tables and the shelves and whatnot. And you can hear more gargoyles sort of wandering around in here, organizing and just making sure that everything is in place.
I'm gonna go to. Is it organized? How is it organized? Like, would I be going towards the Hikata like area, or would I specifically go to Giovanni?
Give me All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have you roll a intelligence and occult just for this entire scene, and that'll determine how much information you get, as well as like knowing where you will go.
I don't think I can use my ghost, can I? Because I'm looking up rituals.
No, but you can add 3 dice because of the Chantry's library.
Oh yeah!
Because this library is stacked as fuck.
Heck yeah! Awesome. Okay, this is a nice little handful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
5 successes.
I'm going to use a... Wait. We just woke up, right? Basically.
Scene or session as well. So
Okay.
you got all your roll power
Oh,
back.
yeah, right. Okay. I'm going to roll some more, just in case.
All right.
Okay, one more.
So that's
6.
6 successes.
Not
all right.
worth it. I rolled 4 dice, and 3 of them still failed.
So yeah, I think you probably know where to look for like clan specific information in the library. It's quite large. There's even like a second floor in this library itself.
Okay.
And then there's sort of like the central reading area in the middle. And I think with relatively no problem, you're able to find the clan section. And much like your personal library, they've all been like labeled with Braille so that you can tell like the
Exactly where I'm going.
Dewey Decimal System.
Very organized here.
Yes.
I'll reach out for a few different tomes. I'll take like a family history book of the Hecata if there is one, and I'll take specifically anything having to do with blood magic or the art of ritual practice itself, blood rituals.
Sounds good.
And I'll leaf through those.
All right. So as you sit down in sort of the reading area, and Prophet just sort of sits next to you and waits patiently, but a little bit bored, you hear a sound of a cup being placed next to you as one of the gargoyles is knowing that you're not one to partake in human blood has brought you that of animal variety.
Philip, thank you so much. Very kind of you.
Because my Tremere Chantries are bougie as fuck.
I will drink 3/4 of that and give the rest to my main man, Prophet.
Nice. He will not as excited as when you give him your blood, but will still partake in it. So you get about halfway through one of the books, and you find mention of some of the necromantic disciplines that the Giovanni have.
Mm-hmm.
And you find a section on the Path of Sepulcher.
Okay, wait, you have to spell that.
I sure do, because I didn't even know how to spell it. There, I've put it in chat.
Ah, thank you.
This is sort of the path that allows command and interaction, as well as manipulation of ghosts of different types.
Okay. I would like to, read a bit more about this. Does it seem like I'm so curious if this is about ghosts being manipulated against their normal way of unlife?
For sure. So digging a bit deeper, definitely yes. So, this is sort of the like necromantic path that allows summoning of ghosts, binding of them, compelling them to do your bidding, as well as like doing damage to them and harming them if they go against your will. And it is much like all disciplines, like your blood power determines like how much of this you're able to do.
And I can connect the dots that the Giovanni family is quite old, so they would be quite practiced in this art.
Exactly, especially if one of them specialized in it.
Do I... Oh, I don't know anything about what Imogen saw. Damn it! Okay.
Sorry.
So digging a bit deeper in that, you find some more specialized tomes. And the specific ritual that has been done, you know that if you were to destroy the item that the ghost is bound to, it wouldn't make the ghost disappear. It would instead like free the ghost, and allow them to go about whatever they want to do without essentially being damaged.
And if this I keep wondering aloud to Prophet as I'm thinking as I read.
Rubber duck tactic.
Do I presume that if this ritual was done on a body part rather than an object, that destroying the corpse would do the same thing?
Yeah. So there's various forms of this ritual that can take place. There's location, like binding someone to a location, binding something to an item, and then if you both have a body part and know the name of the ghost that you're trying to bind, it makes it a lot easier to do.
Okay.
And much more effective. You also know that this ritual requires upkeep. That depending on the success of the ritual, it can be effective for anywhere from 1 night to a year and a day.
Wow.
Very specific.
Well, it seems like something is going on. We definitely have to go back to Mrs. Carby's Prophet as soon as we can. But let's see if there's anything else we can find here, as it took us a while to get here.
Yes. So with a 6, I think you're very confident about that information. Is there anything else that specifically you're looking for?
What do we think, fam? Is there something else we want to find? I know. So to go over what I just
I shook
learned.
my head for the audience.
To go over what I know now, I'm confident in what ritual they have done. I know that it requires upkeep. I know that to get rid of it, it won't hurt the ghost. It'll just set them free from this binding that they're under. And to do that, I have to destroy an object or whatever they're being tethered by.
Which we assume is the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
or
think
a large chunk of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that's it. Maybe, is there anything... Can I, looking back on my memory of my interactions with the woman, do I think that there was anything that maybe was done to her, to Henrietta Carby? Is she under a ritual? And if so, I would like to try and find more information about it here.
That's right, because you have kind of the ability to sense things that have been done to people, don't you?
I have sensed the unseen, which if there was magic, like if she had an aura, it would trigger. And I did do that on her.
Yeah. So looking back, you're still confident.
But I don't think I rolled very well for that.
Yeah, you're still confident that Henrietta is not influenced.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean that she hasn't been in the past. But upon interacting with her that night, she wasn't under the effects of any disciplines or anything.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, yeah, I'll head back. Let's go back.
Okay. We can also just say that, like, you spend some time researching other things, and then we'll determine what those are if you want, or you can head back.
No, I think I found a lot of stuff, so that probably took me a bit of time.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
As you sort of tidy up and put everything back, you head back into the common area, and your umbrella's missing.
Ah! Bitches.
Megan.
Can't catch a break. Yeah. Lauren, I don't know where my umbrella is. I seem to have misplaced it.
That's a shame.
Did you see anyone? Did anyone come by?
Not since you came.
Did you take my umbrella, Lauren?
Just kind of like silence for a moment and says, "It's waiting at the door for you."
Oh, thank you. Very kind. Very thoughtful, Lauren.
And as you ascend the staircase, you can feel the gargoyle sort of just shove the umbrella towards you.
a little rough around the edges, but I do appreciate always your service, your kind manner that normally we interact with, and such helpfulness in the Chantry whenever we're around. Well, you do have a good evening. I will see you later, Felix.
I'll get the door. And just you hear just of the door being pushed open again. And you enter the London night again. The heavy rain obscured by your umbrella.
Yeah.
And we're going
can I check my umbrella? Did they break it? Is it okay?
You sort of feel around and it doesn't appear to be broke.
Okay, good. I knew that I'm trying to think of like names on the fly.
Name?
I knew that Rachel would treat
These are
my
some
umbrella
Victorian
fine.
ass names.
Hey, leave me alone.
You need the Victorian name generator open at all times, like I do.
Elizabeth.
Armand.
It's Rochelle from France.
I
There
love
we
that
go.
A French gargoyle.
show. Evelyn. So you were heading towards the Giovanni's estate, correct?
Indeed, I am.
All right. So you know that they are located somewhere in Soho, but you don't. Well, I guess no. Specifically, you would know of all the three of you. So as you make your way to Soho, are you going to sort of emit the beacon to William?
Yes, I think so. I've already sent him this way, so might as well meet up since I'm coming to check up on him, make sure he doesn't get himself killed.
I mean, you rolled pretty good, so...
He did, yes, but I think I'm feeling a little bit guilty sending him on such a dangerous task since he does so much for me.
How does Evelyn travel through the city?
I think through the sewers.
Okay, cool. So you kind of like hopped into the grate and you're down in the muck now.
Must stay unseen,
Yum.
obviously.
And as you are walking through the sewers, you sort of pass the occasional, probably employee of yours.
Yes.
And they all give you like a head nod as you pass by, and you make your way.
I kind of toss my hair and walk on by, give them a knowing head tilt their way as well.
One of all of your slimy employees just kind of like nodding as you pass by. A lot of them know not to really bother you when you have this sort of determined pace to you.
Yes.
I would imagine you occasionally have like meetings or rendezvous. So you expertly make your way towards Soho through the various labyrinthine sewage or sewer system, and as you get closer, you hear coming towards you, and sort of at a T-junction, William nearly bumps into you and says, "Oh, sorry, Mom. You needed me?"
Yes, darling, I was coming to check up on you since, I wanted to make sure you didn't get yourself hurt during this job. I thought I would join you for once.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Well, I spent most of the day realizing that they don't do stuff during the day.
Yes, that is what we do.
Good job.
Clever boy.
So I spent most of the day scoping out potential spots that I could go to, but now that you're here, you can join me. All right. Well, this way, Mom. And he like starts running ahead of you.
Okay, I just walk. I can keep track of where he's going, so yeah.
Like a bad escort quest, he just sort of like stops and waits for you to catch up once in a while. And you guys make your way to another large grate that opens up into a back alley. And William sort of like helps you up and gestures towards a large estate that you can see across the road. And he says, "As far as I could tell, that's the most local and nearby Giovanni estate. Like I said, I haven't seen much activity, but now that you're here, maybe we can find a spot. If we can get up on this building right here, we can get a good view into the sort of like main meeting area, their dining area and whatnot. There's quite a few. If we sneak up back, there's a large open sort of what do you call them? Like lawn area. And we could probably
Yard, perhaps.
Yard, lawn.
I don't know if that's the word.
I don't know what these rich folk need all these grass for. Just seems like a waste of space. Anyways, we could probably hide in the shadows of the trees there and look in sort of the more like common, like the bedrooms and whatnot. And we can always do the walk by where we just sort of blend in with the sorry, Mum. Never mind.
Yeah. I think perhaps that's something you would be able to do, but not myself.
Of course, Mum. I've got a.
I think I like the first idea. Let's go hide in the shadows and see what we see in here. Right?
All right.
Yes.
So we need to get on the top of this building then.
Very well. Soaring leap.
Sure. There's a few like overhangs of like where the windows come out. There's the not quite a like balcony or anything, just sort of like stone. And listen, I know when we made this character there was a very specific character in mind that you had, but what you do gets real Assassin's Creed.
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah. This is fine.
This is fine. We'll just get I'll just get a dex and athletics just to see how it goes.
Just for funsies.
Yeah. As you parkour assassins climb this side of this building.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
All right. Easy. The moment he says we need to get up on
6, I saw the one in the corner. They were hiding in the shadows, just like me.
It's got too much brain freeze. It can hide good, It's real hot, y'all. Just a reminder. So with ease, you like jump up to one of the windows, grab on with one hand, pull yourself up, leap across to the other building, and just sort of like jump back and forth as you make your way to the top. And at the top is sort of like a run-down garden and a lot of darkness for you to hide in. And
does William get up here okay?
Not...
No.
Well, actually, let's look at William's stats.
I don't think he's quite the dexterous boy as I. Dex is not terrible, but athletics, we could see. So if he could also, he does not have soaring leap, though.
It's up to you. So he's sort of just like sitting, watching in awe as you jump up to the top.
Okay, well, if he wants to find a safer way up, he totally should.
Okay, one sec. Let me give this a try. Give me a dex and athletics for William.
Okay.
Godspeed, William.
That was 2 successes.
You know what? Not terrible. It takes him a lot longer, and he's like gets his foot into a couple.
He almost slips a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also very wet right now, so. Yeah.
He's used to that though.
Yeah, he kind of gets to the lip of a window and just sort of like sits on it, and he's like, "I'm gonna stay here. I got a good vantage point from here. I can see a nice narrow passageway to the estate. I think I'm good."
Very well. I'm gonna go ahead and try to find a nice little spot in the shadows then, and yeah.
All right. And you basically just disappear into the night. All right, one sec. Let me just roll secretly over here.
Oh boy.
All right, so as you're up on this roof looking down at the building, you can see various people inside, extremely well dressed, sort of just meandering around, conversing, kind going about their night. They definitely seem kindred, as they are extremely extra and don't hide the fact that they're all just fucking drinking blood from fancy wine glasses. You see a few ghouls wandering around, sort of like serving up or being eaten once in a while. But it seems like they're not really being that secretive of it. Like their blinds are sort of closed a bit, but you can make this out pretty easily from your vantage point.
Okay.
How long do you stay here for?
Is there anything else that I could get information-wise from this location, or would I immediately want to move closer? I feel like I'd probably immediately want to move closer and find like a way to hear them or something. Because yes, they're having a fun dinner party, but it doesn't really help us right now.
Yeah, it's up to you. Like, you don't have
I do not have heightened
senses,
so I would need to get closer.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm kind of like, okay, let's go to the like underneath the window perhaps and try to like listen in. I don't know if there's a window that's open somewhere.
None that you can see that are open, but again, there's like this is your jam, so once you get up, you'll probably have a better idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and try to do that then. We'll get a little closer and see if I can find something that's like even just a crack open. It's just not an unlocked window that I can kind of just like open a little bit just to listen in.
Cool.
You know?
So you make your way back down this building with ease as you just pass William by one of the windows, and he just looks and he says, "Oh, all right. I'll catch up with you." And you make your way across the street. As you approach, give me a Dex and Stealth, which is just the most dice ever.
Just the most.
Almost every dice that's ever existed.
Listen to that clickety clack.
My favorite sound.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes, and 2 of them were 10s.
So that's 6 successes?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So as you approach, you sort of like duck past a few people walking by in the street who like regard you and then keep walking.
Yeah, I'm wearing the mask, obviously. Yeah. But yes.
It's kind of like, hey, I just saw a plague doctor walk by. I should probably get the fuck out of this area.
Yeah, if they're here, it's probably a problem.
And you sort of like sneak in to the bushes underneath the windows. And you start scoping out the actual building itself. From here, you can sort of hear some muffled talking from inside. But you're going to have to find, like you said, either an open window or a unlatched one or something. So yes. Let's do Wits and Investigation.
Okay. Let's move all these other ones out of the way.
much smaller of a roll.
Smaller little pool here. 1, 2, 3 successes.
All right. I'm gonna say with 3 successes that you're able to find the window that has the easiest to unlatch lock.
Okay.
But as you look through the window, you can see it's almost like a converted like smoking lounge, like a cigar lounge. And you see 2 people sitting in chairs opposite each other, drinking from bloody wine glasses.
Okay. Perhaps I will do unseen passage while I do this, so that way if they look over, I'm not noticed.
Sure.
Because I'm assuming Cloak of Shadows wouldn't help because I'm moving, so...
Yeah.
So, arouse check.
Give me that rouse.
I did it. I
Yay.
didn't get any hungrier.
Yay!
You're
Today
doing it.
We're being nice.
Woo! Fun fact, this is the first rouse of the night. If you're watching us live, you can rouse with us in chat by typing !rouse.
Yeah.
I got a 1.
Yay! All right, so you have unseen passage.
Sarah failed.
Wait, let me do one myself.
Everyone's doing it.
I failed. So who's
Everybody's hungry except for me.
And me. Emily will have some White Claw instead of blood.
Yay. All right.
Dumb.
So you are now pretty confident that you are being covered in darkness, more or less, and you're pretty stealthy. And you can make out faint conversation while the window is still closed. You know that you would have to open it up to actually get to hear inside.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to open it.
Or
You said this was the easiest window to unlatch, right?
Yes.
So I think I probably could
right.
manage it.
then give me a dex and subterfuge.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 for my dex, and then subterfuge. Ah, fuck. Would it not be larceny?
That's a
No.
I think that's just well. Remember, you can also rouse the blood. I don't think that anyone has done that, but that's also a good question. We may have actually talked about this. You can probably.
I don't know, 'cause I didn't put any points in subterfuge.
Oh, hey, 100% larceny is picking locks. My apologies.
Yay!
Good call.
More dice.
You got
Yay!
players. If you advocate for yourself, sometimes the storyteller's wrong.
That is
Don't
5
encourage them.
5 successes.
Nice. The hell is subterfuge for then? All right. So with 5 successes, you're able to get in there real close, shove something through the window, and just slowly unlatch it. For a moment, you think that one of them is turning to notice you, but they're just flourishing, as they've probably said something just ostentatious.
That they think is very funny.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm hilarious.
So you manage to pull the window just open enough, and you're able to hear the conversation that is going on inside. Currently, they are talking about the theater.
Oh, you don't say. I know about this. I know about that.
There's sort of like a dapper dressed male Giovanni with like a really like overly waxed mustache, wearing a white suit, sitting on one chair, and sort of like a casually but still like elegantly dressed woman sitting in the other chair. And it seems that the man has recommended that they go and meet Melinda and Olive Lee.
Melinda and Olive Lee?
Yes. And that they haven't been to the theater in years.
Okay. Interesting. Have I heard these names, Melinda and Olive, before?
I don't think so.
Well, now I'm intrigued.
And it's definitely
Someone I don't know?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's telling that it's someone that you don't, or people that you haven't heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very telling.
they seem to be going on about how they thought that the theater was going to be failing, but now that there are 2 toreadors running it, maybe it has a chance, and maybe arts will finally succeed in this god-forsaken city. Cain-forsaken. It's right about this time that you hear footsteps coming from the street behind you.
From the street behind me, you say? Okay,
Yes.
well, I'm right by the window, yes. So I guess I will just turn around and face the street while also still being by the window.
You see a tall, shadowy woman with an umbrella coming towards the estate. And the reason
I
that
assume because I am using unseen passage and I'm not moving, as long as they don't try to sense the unseen or something, that I will not be seen.
Yeah, as long as you don't move, make a sound, or get too stinky.
Yeah.
Too much more stinky.
Yeah.
You're good.
I will try my best not to get too stinky. I will just stay still and watch her as she enters.
Yeah, so you, hearing her extremely loud heels on the pavement outside, you see her approach the estate, walk towards the door, up the stairs, and enter without a problem. After a while, she actually joins the couple that is having the conversation about the theater.
Lovely.
And she says, I have returned from my assignment. And they two kind of regard and are like, and how is it going then? And she says, the spirit attached to Mr. Carby is almost powerful enough to bind. However, Mrs. Smith down at the IOU has been snooping around. It might explain why the spirit has grown in power so quickly, but it is disturbing nonetheless. I have concerns that Miss Smith and her crew may return any night, so I wish to ask for permission to attempt to bind the spirit early. They sort of think for a moment and they say, how sure are you that Octavia will return anytime soon? We would prefer that the spirit gain more power before we bind it, but of course we would rather have it than lose it, she says. I mean, they're quite pesky. I've tried to inform that Miss Carby should steer clear from them, and she has informed me that she will, but they're quite persistent. I would even so much as ask that maybe I could come up with a ruse as to why I would have to stay with Miss Carby and keep an eye out. And the man says, all right. Return to her, and if you can convince her to let you stay, then keep an eye out on the spirit. If it is getting as powerful as you claim, perhaps your presence will speed things up.
Okay, as soon as I hear that, I'm gonna fucking leave and try to find Octavia.
Just
like, we gotta go.
We see like the bush kind of rustle, and all three of them look outside, and one of them goes to close the window. All right, so we're all heading back. I assume, Octavia, you were heading back to the agency then?
Yeah.
All right, then we are going to... I would say that Imogen would probably arrive first, and then as you get back, I assume you like tie up Fiend again. And you enter the agency, and Margarita's sort of just sitting there working some more. And she says, "Oh, welcome back. How's the new case going?"
Oh, excellent. What you working on there?
Just filing some of the old cases. I don't understand your concept of case reports. This is all over the place.
Fun fact, if you want to see our case reports, join our Patreon, patreon.com/Tabletop Tiddies. I almost plugged my other podcast's Patreon. My bad.
She kind of like picks up a stack of like neatly organized papers, and she says, "This is Octavia's case reports. Organized, detailed, easy for me to find." And then points to like a slightly stained, disheveled pile. "This is Evelyn's case reports, as I assume she has gotten William to write them for her." And she kind of like reaches down and grabs like a whole clump of papers, and she's like, "This is your case reports. I don't know what to do with these."
Well, just because they're written in couplets doesn't mean it's bad.
I don't know how symbolic.
I thought that you would enjoy that.
I mean, they're lovely. I'll give you that.
Thank you so much.
I just don't understand how symbology and metaphors really helps me understand all the information that you've gathered on these cases.
Well, would you prefer a sonnet or a limerick?
I mean, if tell you what, we'll baby steps. Less symbology, less metaphors, but whatever format you want. more hard facts, maybe?
All right. I will try my best. Can I just include a couple just for some flavor, though?
All right. What did you do tonight? Just baseline. What did you do tonight?
Shit. I had so much time. If I had known, I would have written something so good.
She's just sitting there patiently, like looking.
Well, Margaret, you have to understand that I put a lot of work into these case reports, and coming up with it off the top of my head, I just don't know if it'll be as good or at all happen at all. Bad.
All right, if you can't just tell me in words what you did tonight, that's all right. We'll deal with it later. I have like 50 pages from Octavia already from last night. She's going to... I'm going to let you spend some time on that if you want. Meanwhile, I think the next person to arrive would probably be Evelyn, as Octavia did spend a lot of time in the library and is quite far away.
Yeah, I'm going to get there, and I guess y'all are real close by and not hiding anywhere in here, so I'm just going to walk in and go, "Where is Octavia? We need to go. We have a problem."
I think Imogen's working on her case reports at the moment.
Imogen?
I'm almost done. I've got it. It's going really fast. But apparently if you type wind into rhyme zone, it thinks it's wind, and it's not helping me at all.
I don't know what on earth you're talking about. A rhyme zone?
It's the name of her book that she uses.
It's in my head.
Well, that's all well and fine, but we have an issue down at Henrietta's. What are you doing? Where were you? Did you go to her house? Did you see anything?
Oh, I did. There was a scary lady there, and then
yes,
she went to bed.
I saw her as well. Yes.
Well, then they're going to harvest something, and it sounds
yes,
awfully
they're about
terrible.
to bind the spirit. They're going to go back there and have her stay with Henrietta, so we won't be able to do anything while she's there. So we need to go now. Where is Octavia?
Well, I haven't seen her yet. I'm so sorry. I figured she was on her way back.
Well,
but I
I'll
just
have
came here
to wait
first.
for her then. All right. Although, would I have known she was going to the Chantry?
Yeah, I think you guys decided on
Yeah,
what you were going to do before heading out.
Is she's walking?
Yeah.
Would I know the path that she walks?
Yeah, because it would be the same every time.
I'm gonna go find her.
All right.
Yep. I feel like this seems like something. Yeah, I'll take Fiend. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take Fiend and go find her. I'm like, would you like to come with me, Imogen, or are we doing this just as the two?
I'll come with you. I think it'd be easier than you having to come back here for me, don't you think?
Yes, I think that's best.
All right. I'll work really hard on my case report.
She's gonna be writing.
Where it's like you literally just told Evelyn what you did without having it to. And you both head out. I suppose you both can ride Fiend. You can double up on a horse pretty easily. And
Oh yeah, is it just the horse or is it the carriage?
We should probably take the carriage if we're also getting a third. I don't know if Fiend could carry a
let's
third
take the carriage.
person.
Let's do that. Yeah.
That's true. Fiend seems a little bit upset because she was like,
oh,
I was in for the night. I already put on my
Again.
PJs.
Yeah, horse PJs.
So you can.
I'm just imagining like little booties.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
little cap.
But do you put on the pants on all four legs or just the back two legs?
She doesn't wear pants. That's what I mean. Just the little booties and the little. It kind of looks like a shower cap. You know, like the nightgown accessory.
Too.
Little cutie.
If
her blinders.
If she sleeps during the day, she needs a face mask.
That's true. God, so much lore. Yeah, I'll say that you can find Octavia about halfway through her trip.
If we were in the now times, I'd like pull up and be like, "Get in, bitch! We're going to the place." But I won't say that.
Also, I have to tell you, Imogen, the chat is trying to help you because "sind" rhymes with wind.
Ah!
Oh, thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat. I've asked for that help often. Got too many tabs open now.
Well, we're going to pull up to. Obviously, you will probably see Fiend from a mile, hear Fiend from a mile away, but we will pull up and go. They're going to bind the ghost. We need to go. They know we are coming back, and they're going to try to stop us. So we need to do whatever it is we need to do as soon as possible.
Well, I did get quite a bit of research done in the Chantry. I'll get in the back while I'm talking. There is a way to free Mr. Frederick, Mr. Carby. We have to destroy either the item or piece of his body that may still be lingering there.
Oh, of course it's a piece of body. Do we know where they would be keeping it?
Oh, I heard something when I was there. It sounded like they were moving a big piece of wood. Maybe it was in the floor.
Do you know where in the floor? There's lots of floor in that house.
Oh wait, no, I'm lying. I'm looking back at my notes. Shit, it's in the attic.
Perfect. Yeah. Absolutely.
I had scrolled up to my poetry section. Okay, I've got a lot going on.
I think this is 100% in character. Like you're writing your poetry and then
like, oh wait,
looking back and forth in my notebook and I don't know what's happening.
Love it.
I do believe that Mr. Carby is under some sort of necromantic influence having to do with the Sepulcher path, and it seems that if he does anything against their wishes that they implied while doing the ritual, he may be severely harmed. So perhaps him wanting us to get out so quickly wasn't really what he intended.
As in, that's what they intend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, perhaps it won't really matter if we're stealthy, then will it? Because he already knows we're in the house when we're there. But perhaps as quickly as we can, because I've already been stabbed by him once. I would like to avoid doing it.
Imogen, did you hear anything about Mrs. Carby when there was someone else was there?
Yes, I think that they've told her that she can have him back. I'm kind of concerned about it, to be honest with you.
Well, removing the ritual...
Sense.
Yeah, removing the ritual won't remove the ghost, but it will remove the evil that they have done to him. So we must help this man right away. And obviously quickly from what Evelyn told us.
Yes, I think whoever, was it Alvina? Is that how you pronounce her name?
yes.
Is that how what we decided? I don't remember.
Yes.
Alvina, I believe, is who you probably saw, Imogen, because that's, I believe, who appeared for me at the Giovanni estate. I believe she will be trying to return to Henrietta's home very soon because she knows we are going to try to interfere. So we need to get this done. And I would not be surprised if she tried to return tonight, actually. But who knows? Let's try to get this done as quickly as possible. I hope the window I unlocked is still unlocked.
You mean the window you shattered?
We won't talk about that.
Yeah. There's two windows. It's creating a through draft.
Regardless, it is unlocked now.
I mean, there were two different windows. You went in the tea room window and then jumped out the office window.
This is why I love working with you, Evelyn.
All
Always
right.
a quick getaway.
Indeed.
All right, Fiend, let's go.
Yeah. So you make your way through the rows, past Hyde Park again. The telltale howls at this point. The city is starting to sort of thin out a bit as it's getting a lot later. So we'd probably be about like 4 a.m. maybe? It's starting to get pretty tight.
Close. Okay, yeah.
An hour to get back to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what time does the sun rise?
Around 6.
Okay, so we gotta move.
Yeah. So you arrive at Mrs. Carby's estate, or flat at around 4 o'clock a.m., and we are going to take a break for a little bit and cool off ourselves.
Oh boy.
Be right back.
You're back.
Welcome back.
Yay.
Woo!
We stand in front of Mrs. Carby's flat as Fiend and the carriage roll up. The three of you see a dim, dark house laying in front of you.
Well, shall we?
Yes,
All right,
let's.
Well, I think perhaps she's probably asleep by now, yes?
Well, she did go to sleep before I
Well,
left. Yes.
let's go ahead and find the window that I entered in, and let's try to not wake her while we do this, because I have a feeling she will try to interfere.
Sure. Sounds like a great plan.
I also want
Just
to.
Scottish. Shit.
And Imogen,
Yes.
you must be quiet. Okay.
I would
Y'all can
like
stage
to
whisper-
sense
whisper.
the unseen.
That's a very good idea.
Which is not arouse.
It is not arouse. It is a resolve and auspex. So, order of operations. Evelyn, you're going to leap up onto the
Balcony.
balcony.
Yeah.
It has not been relocked.
Because I feel like didn't I break the lock on that one?
No, that was the one that... So,
Oh, that was the door.
yeah, you broke
Yeah.
her bedroom door lock.
Yeah.
Broke...
Which sucks for her.
She
doesn't have a caretaker right now.
That's fine. Yeah, they can do that a little bit later.
2 10s! First credit of the night for me.
Yay!
6 successes.
6 successes? All right, I will keep that in mind for... Is anyone else, like, preparing before they go in?
Your listening ears turned up.
All right.
Heightened senses.
I guess, you know what? Let's just go ahead. And on the off chance that she's just, like, awake in her room waiting for us, I'll unseen passage and try not to make any noise. Let's rouse check.
All right,
Let's tempt fate, shall we?
give me a rouse.
I can't. Sorry.
That
there's
was
a
a
spider in my room, I can't.
success.
Yay!
We are not fucking it up today. I'm gonna.
Turn the whole day around for to Evelyn
It's okay.
today.
We had a real bad day the other day. So.
Do you want us to be right back, Emily?
There's a spider in my room.
We'll be right back. 'Cause There's a spider.
All right, so Imogen's gonna get a stain for killing a spider.
No, that was Emily. That wasn't Imogen.
Emily gets a stain, so at the end of this series, you're gonna have to see if you lose humanity.
Oof. Emily, not Imogen. A personal stain.
All right, where were we? So people are prepping, and
Evelyn did not fail her rouse.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
Everything's looking up Evelyn. So as Evelyn sneaks through the house, what are the outside crew doing?
I think we should all go in.
Well, you could try to climb up. It's like a balcony window that she went into.
Oh. Ha ha.
Yeah, you gotta wait for me to go down and open the door.
Yeah.
again.
I could try and premonition while I'm here.
Okay, sure.
Might as well.
All right. Give me a rouse check.
If I've turned my listening ears up, can I hear if she's asleep?
Good call. And also I got a 2.
You got a 2? That means,
no.
hey guys.
hungry.
Hey, guess what? Guess what, y'all?
Nora!
This-
Nora Ibrahim!
This hunger is brought to you by Nora Ibrahim.
Oh, why must we play these games, Octavia? Your naive attempt to abstain from human vitae is ridiculous. Drink deep, Octavia. Drink deep.
I can't right now. I don't have any chickens, and I'm not going to be drinking Imogen's sweet blood, and no other. Oh, I have to be quiet. No, it's all in my head. But I mean, please, Miss Lestat, please.
Imogen, you just hear Octavia saying this out loud.
I said it was in my head.
You don't have auspex. Anyways, give me a resolve and auspex for this premonition.
That's what I just rolled. I will roll it again. What? 4.
4 successes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How do you do your premonition?
Usually I'll just like take a deep breath, hold my hands together, and I shut my eyelids, and just let the spirit take me.
All right. So you sort of feel like as you're focusing, Prophet sort of like nuzzles up against you, but you stop feeling like the sensory effects of your body, and instead you feel softness. You almost feel your body like fall a little bit to the side, and you can feel just like a soft feeling underneath you, and this like steady breathing just behind your head, almost at like the nape of your neck, as you hear just sleeping behind you.
Is there a way for me to know if I am in Frederick's form or someone else's?
You're definitely not in someone else's form.
Okay.
You can smell just like the telltale smells of like the heavy perfume and the sort of like rot in the air. And a little bit of like just old house smell.
I'll say aloud, it's interesting that the locked bedroom door doesn't keep him out. To Imogen.
Well, it's not locked anymore.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
well, if he's a ghost, wouldn't he just go through the walls also?
Can ghosts do that?
Ghosts can't go through doors. They're not fire.
What's that from?
Community.
Oh, yeah.
Ghosts can go through whatever the hell they want. They
so
travel.
why does she lock the door? Of course, Imogen, you're right. But why does she lock the door?
Is it his actual body that's moving around?
You feel as
Would
if
that be possible?
you're like,
We'll find out.
you're not asleep or anything. Like, you don't feel tired. You don't feel anything. It's almost like just this hollow feeling other than like the physical sensory things. But you're just sort of like lying there.
Okay. And I don't. Evelyn's going in a different room than the bedroom, right? I know
Correct.
that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
That
You
would be awkward.
oddly enough, you don't hear Evelyn. But you do hear you do hear a unlocking sound, and the sort of like cold wind and necrotic smell coming from the house as Evelyn opens the door to the front of the house, and you see Octavia just sort of premonizing in front of you.
I hold my finger to my lips, and I beckon the two of them. Or my mask, I guess. 'Cause I'm not...
Yeah. I would. You feel kind of Prophet like jostle you out of your premonition as he sort of like tugs you along.
Okay. I'll whisper that information to everybody, and then enter the home silently.
Mm-hmm. And I assume, would I have already noticed where the attic entrance was since when I scoped out the place before?
Give me a retroactive Wits and Investigation.
Okay.
Because Imogen can sort of like
Pinpoint where the sound was.
Yeah, exactly.
1, 2, 3 successes, and 2 of them were 10.
Nice. Yeah. Pardon?
Sorry, just before we actually go in, I wanted to see if I could hear if she was awake or not as well.
Nice.
But I guess if the premonition, we would know that she's asleep or no?
Yeah, the breathing is a bit soft because you're at the front of the house and the bedroom is on the top floor in the very back. And Octavia would let you know that her breathing is like very, very faint. So, but you
cool.
all are able to enter the house. You see the sort of great room that you met her in, and to your right is a guest room. Right in front of you is the stairway. And you're on the first floor with a 6 sense the unseen, Octavia. You can now sense the spirit that you had inhabited up where you remember sort of the bedroom being as you passed it to get to the office.
No other beings seem to be present at the moment.
It feels like there's one spirit in the bed calmly lying down, and there's sort of like a tether pulling it towards the attic, and the tether you can feel is almost like anger.
Okay. I don't say anything, but I feel like what we're about to do regardless is gonna sever that tether.
Sever that
Probably
tether.
while we try to make it angry. Yike.
So what are y'all doing?
Do we have a plan as to what we need to do, Octavia?
The tether is leading us higher to the attic, I'm assuming, Imogen, that you so astutely were able to hear earlier. I'm whispering very quietly.
Yeah, I think all of us are, yeah.
Yeah.
We must destroy whatever is tying the poltergeist to this home. Whatever is in the attic must be destroyed.
Now, my next question is, would you like me to go and take a look and be as quiet as I can, or are we all going together?
Ooh. What does everybody think? That's good.
I think that might be best, but I also think we should maybe take a look at that bedroom. You shared the premonition with us, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Well, she's in there, is she not? Do you not fear waking her up?
You're awfully sneaky, aren't you?
Well,
Not
do you want
me,
to-
but you are.
Well, yes. I think we already know she's there, and I was in there once. She has her dress and her bed, and she's sleeping.
All right then.
Upstairs. Let's go to the attic. If I don't want the spirit to be too I was gonna say chastised, annoyed, bothered by us being here.
Yes. So
Right.
we'll all go together then.
I'm gonna need Imogen and Octavia to give me a Dex and Stealth.
I think it's good that Evelyn goes up first and then
Okay.
can come back
Okay.
down.
Yeah, I'm not sneaky.
Because I'll also need one from Fiend as well at this point.
Yeah.
Or prophet, you mean?
Prophet, right, sorry.
Do you
Fiend came
have
in the house with
means-
us.
Clip, clip,
Yeah,
clop,
that'd
clip,
be
clop, clip,
awkward.
clop, clip, clop, clip.
Octavia, do you have the means to dispose of the body with you? Perhaps I am up there. I should just do it.
Do you have any gadgets on you?
Or is it something you would have to do?
Ooh. I only created my spirit board so far. Do I have anything else?
I mean, Octavia's pretty prepared. Her whole thing is making gadgets.
Would we need, is there anything, like, would burning the body do? Is there something here we could, although with fire is not we overly enjoy, is it? But
From my research, would I already know the answer to this with my 6 in the
yeah, burning
Chantry?
would definitely be like the best thing.
but that would also possibly
Be bad for
burning our
us
house.
and burn the house down.
Give me an intelligence and occult to see if Octavia would have been able to like think of a gadget or something that she has.
I do have all my like pockets and satchels and stuff with like ingredients in them.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
So it could be something like you have like gunpowder or something that you could cover the body in and create a trail.
Just explode it.
Or
I have extinguish vitae. Could I use that?
there is well, I mean, it depends.
It's not the acid one. I didn't take that one, and now I'm regretting it.
It really depends on the state of the body because there probably isn't any vitae in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I would say that Octavia didn't make like a new device or anything, but you definitely have like accelerants on you.
Would it be possible to move the body
We brought the carriage.
and do it back at?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's try to do that.
There's also a fireplace in the house. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Put it in the fireplace.
Well, okay, I'll go up and try to get the body down to the fireplace, I guess.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah,
Here we
do
go. So you climb up the stairs, and with your 3 Wits and Investigation from earlier, you are able to find the hatch to the attic. It is actually close to the door to the office.
Okay.
So you can make your way over, and with Unseen Passage still activated, you are able to pass unseen. But I will need a dex, and fuck it, let's use larceny now that we know what it's for.
Yeah.
To open this hatch without being noisy.
Without being the noise.
And
Yeah.
I'll head downstairs
Oh,
and
boy. Okay,
put the I'll uncork the bottle of gasoline and splash that in the fireplace.
Nice.
To prepare for the body.
That was 4 successes. That could have been better, but it also could have been way worse. So.
All right.
can
and what is
willpower
Imogen
if you
doing
need
at
to.
this moment?
I think they're trying not to make any noise.
All right.
I
So
think I'm okay. Yeah.
Evelyn, as you go to pull on the cord to pull the latch down, you see it move for a moment and then snap back up.
Curious.
And you hear movement coming from the bedroom.
Like movement from Frederick or from Henrietta?
You hear a bed
would I
sort
know?
of like weight from a bed coming off.
Interesting. Can I feel like I'm gonna just try to yank it down now. Just let's go. I don't know.
All right.
At
So-
this point, she's gonna get up. So.
Strength contest!
So being a little less stealthy now, you just yank on it and it goes, and the stairs come down, and you hear much more movement coming from the bedroom. Imogen, you are easily able to hear this coming from upstairs.
Yeah.
She's awake. She's awake.
Well, yeah.
She's awake.
Well, I'm gonna go and try to grab the body and fucking like, I don't know, like fucking soaring leap myself down the stairs and then like to the fucking fireplace and just do it before she can say anything. And if she says anything, I'll try to tell her to fuck off. Because I'm a Nosferatu.
Imogen, perhaps you can speak to Mrs. Carby. Tell her the truth.
I don't know. That's a good idea.
If she's already up.
I know. It's true. Just gonna ask what the fuck's going on.
We broke into her house again. I don't know if she'd like that.
So Evelyn, as you ascend the stairs, the attic is pitch black at the moment.
Oh boy. Okay.
And it-
Well,
Can you even smell through a plague doctor's mask? I asked this
I'll
question.
remove it.
Okay.
I'll pull it up.
It smells awful up here, and you hear the buzzing of flies as you get into the attic.
Well, follow that sound.
Ooh, it's a good idea. You sort of like make your way through the darkness as Imogen, you hear the door to the bedroom sort of like creak open, and Henrietta says, "Who's out there? Elvina, is that you?"
It was Alina. I can't remember. Shit.
Elvina.
Elvina.
You heard her voice, so you could try to imitate her if you want to.
Yeah, how's Imogen at an English accent? Can you do Irish person
check?
with a bad English accent?
Yes, it is. I was just checking up on you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's a performance check. if I ever
Charisma and
saw one.
performance, I
Yeah.
guess.
Please succeed. Isn't that your thing? That's your thing. You could just do a bunch of crits.
Yes.
Mimicry.
And willpower if it fails.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, I got it all. Holy shit.
4 successes, and I'm gonna willpower the other 2.
Just in
Yeah,
case.
do
Yeah.
it. Please. Yeah.
1 more success.
5.
We'll take
So,
it. We'll take
5
it.
successes.
Oh my god. So you say that, and you hear Henrietta say, "Wait, I just heard the attic. Why are you downstairs? Is someone else with you?"
Yes, it's
Do you know any of the Giovanni's names?
no shit. I don't. I don't.
Would I?
Yes, it's
Would
Yeah,
would
would
either of
Octavia know?
us?
You'd be like,
I don't think they would have filmed me in. Yeah.
You would probably know. Yeah, you would probably know. Give me just a quick intelligence and occult to see if you can. You can not you, Imogen.
Okay, good.
Just to see if Octavia can like slip you a name
holy
real
shit.
quick.
This
4
escalated.
successes.
4 successes. Jonas would pop up in your head.
I whisper
It's-
that Jonas.
It's Jonas. We just wanted to check the house because we've heard that Smith lady would be back. So you just stay in your bedroom and stay there, okay? Don't worry about anything.
All right. Fred seems to have also woken up. Is that normal?
I look at Octavia. I'm like, is it?
Is it?
I mean, it's a ghost. You knew that you weren't actually sleeping. You were kind of
Yeah,
just.
I think it's always awake. I don't think it ever sleeps. So just I like nod to
Yes.
Imogen.
Oh, all right. Well, don't let me bother you then.
Not to worry at all.
What is Octavia and Prophet doing at this point?
I'm still like tending to this fireplace, and I'll get out like my flint rocks to give it a light, but not yet. I'm
Yeah.
just ready
Yeah,
for it.
Giovanni's there, yeah.
Kind of like cringing a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get Prophet to do anything? Prophet's good at pretty good at stealth.
He could have shadow cloak on.
Yeah,
Sure.
just kind of like standing in the corner.
Yeah.
All right. In that.
And he'll also is activating lethal body just in
Ooh.
case.
Gonna
To
fucking
protect.
murder this old lady.
Not
Yeah.
the old lady.
Uh,
The zombo that's upstairs.
So Evelyn, you are like listening for the fly sounds and sort of stumbling towards the body, and you begin to hear the "Get out! Get out! Get out now! Get out!"
Don't respond to it. I just keep going.
The smell becomes like thicker, and the flies definitely are getting closer. And you sort of like bump into a cabinet. I'm gonna need you to give me a strength
Strong?
and either athletics or brawl.
I'm gonna go ahead and do athletics.
Woo!
Because I don't have any points in Brawl.
Ooh, that's a roll.
That is, I'm gonna go ahead and use a willpower on this one.
All right.
Because I just want one more success. Yay! 3 successes.
Cool.
I was like, please don't fail again.
So as you hear the voice speaking louder and louder, you feel a sharp pain in your chest as this like bludgeoning force hits you and sends you flying into the wall, tripping over the cabinet.
Wow.
And you take 2 points of superficial damage as you feel like a crack as you hit up against the wall.
Crap.
I said, get out.
Frederick, you son of a bitch. I'm going to burn your stupid body.
I don't know why you're here. You need to get out.
You're going to be saved, darling. You do not want to be here like this.
Don't
What have I done to you?
understand.
I'm just gonna fucking just go back. I'm just gonna go back, but like faster. I'm gonna activate lethal body as well, by the way.
All right.
Yeah.
You, as you like stand up and begin to run, you kind of like kick something as you realize that something was thrown at you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna need a. So you're just gonna try to like
I
dart
just want to
toward.
get to that fucking body and get the fuck out of here.
All right, give me a let's say Dex and Athletics this time, since you actively know that something probably is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's technically our first combat, y'all.
And we left Evelyn all on her own.
2, 3, 4 successes.
Nice. You hear the cabinet behind you creak as it begins to fall over, and you duck forward as it crashes up against the floor. And you hear a crunch under your foot as you step into something quite dead.
Moist.
Or is
She's
it
right at
not?
home then.
It's a
Is it more skeletal than
it's
moist?
not moist. It's almost like papery and
Ah.
a crunch beneath
both.
your feet.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to scoop it all up and get the hell out of here.
All right.
Nice.
So you start like scraping some of the bones off the floor as you gather it. And I'm gonna need another Dex and Athletics from you.
Beautiful.
You can hear all of this happening, Imogen.
Gotta use another willpower. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that was real nice. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, 3 of which were 10s.
Nice. That's good because
I'm so glad I used the willpower.
8 successes.
8 successes. I rolled 3 10s, so that's
Oh, good.
really lucky.
I'm really glad I
Wow.
used that willpower then.
So as you're scooping up the bodies, you can actually hear the floor start to crush beneath you, and you, as you grab the last of the bones, the floor actually gives way underneath, falling, and you manage to dive back before falling through the floor.
Wonderful.
Um,
Absolutely wonderful.
and you can start to run down the stairs. As
Yes.
this is happening, Henrietta is calling out, "That doesn't sound normal. What is happening up there?"
Don't worry. And I'm gonna use Obia on her.
All right, are you gonna go upstairs? She's sort of been like calling down to you.
How close do I need to be?
I think you at least need to see them.
I will get as close as I can and like try to just like peek around a corner type of a thing.
Okay, cool. Let me just see.
Closure and offset. Oh, you need to rouse check first.
Yeah, give me a rouse.
I pass.
Nice.
Yay!
And then yeah, composure and auspics. As she's beginning to become a little bit concerned.
4
Uh,
successes.
So you look up to her. Are you gonna recite poetry to cast this? You don't have to. It's fine. You'll say there's a
I
go-to
can do
you
it, I
have.
can do it.
Listen, we established last session that to cast this ability,
No.
Don't worry. Go back to bed in a hurry.
Nice.
Or you'll be dead.
Time.
Now it's ABAB.
It's a slant rhyme.
No need to peep. Just go back to sleep.
Good.
Yay.
So you, looking up at her, concentrate your ability, and you feel the blood start to drip down your forehead. And you feel her worry start to, like, fade a little bit. She doesn't, like, immediately duck back into bed, but she definitely seems less concerned and more listening to what you've been saying. And she's like, okay, but if Fred is hurt, just don't let anything happen to him. And she kind of, like, is now just standing in the bedroom door, as Evelyn comes booking down the stairs, holding a whole bunch of bones.
And I fucking get down there and I go to the fireplace and I go, get rid of this. Now.
She screams upon seeing this, as you also have your mask up and holding the bones.
Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't have time to pull that shit down, did I?
She screams and sort of, like, stumbles back into the room and falls over and says, What's happening? And you book it back. You book it into the tea room with the fireplace.
She's old. She can't make it down here in time. Fuck it.
Octavia, you feel something else.
Fuck. Damn it.
You can feel Fred following Evelyn and calling out, but there's something else there, and it is...
Do I think it's the same thing as before?
Yes, you would recognize this as the one that you saw as you were, or felt as you were leaving. And it is burning hot, full of anger. You can still feel the fear and sort of the sorrow in Fred, but this other thing is, like, angry and burning as Evelyn approaches you with this body.
Oh, fuck.
Girl.
Let's act quickly. We are not alone. Do I think it's a Giovanni person, or do I think it's, like, the thing that has been done to Fred?
It's unclear. It's definitely a separate entity from Fred.
Okay.
And it's a lot more angry, and you can feel quite
But
powerful.
they wanted to harvest something. We know that.
They wanted to bind him.
So that's probably what
the
that
word.
is.
Yeah. They wanted to use him to bind hhim to something.
Okay. Can I?
I chuck all
yes.
his shit into the fireplace. I'm like, have fun.
And I'll use, like, a flint gadget to, like, light that shit.
I would imagine,
I get away from
Oh,
it.
and I'll let make sure they have enough time to walk back. But also, I would like, after this whole discussion about do I have any ghost gadgets, I want a Ghostbusters little steampunk vacuum to try and suck up this evil entity so that it doesn't just go wild in the ether.
I'll say that there's no, like, you don't have portable electricity, but I would say that it's almost like a modified bellows that as you pump it, instead of shooting out air, it actually pulls in air. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So you can, like, set that up to be prepared. As you hear Henrietta, like, doing her best to get up and come down the stairs, and she says, Who are you? What are you doing?
Cloak of Shadows.
Just standing in the corner.
I feel so bad. I'm going to make her
She doesn't
forget.
know any better. Yeah.
She stumbles into the tea room as you light the fire.
I'm
I
like
punch her.
second guessing
What?
of, like, is this a good idea
like,
or not?
yes,
What if I'm
no,
making a mistake?
All right, roll
Bad.
roll
We're doing it.
roll strength and brawl.
I punched her. I just got nervous.
Oh,
have
boy.
negative.
Oh, boy. I should. Okay.
One success for my one dice.
She fucking no-sells it. You punch her in the face, and you realize that while she may be old, this woman at some point could hold her own. As you, like, hit her in the face, she kind of, like, stumbles up against the wall a little bit, and she says, I knew something was wrong about you.
I'm sorry. sorry. I didn't want you. You should leave this area right now.
I step out of the shadows and I say, "Go back to bed now."
Charisma and intimidation.
All
Yeah,
right.
don't ever let me do that again.
Oh, but I had the perfect amount of dice. That was okay. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go ahead and use another willpower. Fuck it. This is important.
So much is happening.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. I thought one was gonna fall on the floor and it didn't, so it counted.
After getting punched, she kind of like pushes herself off the wall, and then upon seeing you, like immediately shrinks back into
And I
it.
like snarl as I say it. I'm just like, "Go back to bed."
She doesn't immediately go up the stairs, but she does run away further into the house.
Good.
Octavia, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna pass my little flint thingy to Imogen because Evelyn's used almost all of her willpower. Light the fire, and I'm gonna follow Mrs. Carby to try and calm her down by making her forget.
I do it. I light the fire.
All right. As you're running away, Octavia, you hear, "No, you mustn't." As Imogen lights the fire and the gasoline erupts. Imogen, I'm going to need you to roll a willpower check for me.
Oh boy.
That's rolling all the dots I have left in willpower, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes. I think we're still doing the right
successes?
thing.
2
think
successes is enough for you to, like, as soon as the fire lights, you just stare into it for a moment and, like, stumble back as the fear of death comes over you. And you crawl to the other side of the room now on your back. You're suddenly stopped, Octavia, as you can feel the spirit's tether snap as the body is burned.
Okay, I use my thingy instead. What did you call it?
Well, the fire's still going.
Oh, so it's not like, but it's the thing is untethered.
Yes.
So I want to try and suck it up.
So you're going to run to the fire and try to suck it up?
Yep.
All right.
Not Frederick, but the other evil entity.
Oh, I see. I gotcha. All right, roll.
Frederick's a friend. He doesn't know it yet, but
Roll.
Frederick's just upset because he's been captured
Yeah.
and tethered.
that's what I'm hoping. Oh boy.
I'm going to say intelligence and blood sorcery then for this one.
Can I do technology, which is ghost gadgets? I have a specialty.
Sure. Yes.
Because that's a fuck ton more days.
Intelligence and technology.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm rolling 8 dice plus my specialty. So 9 dice. 7, 8 successes. 8 successes.
Good.
Sweet.
I also rolled 8 successes.
Oh, willpower! Can I willpower after I know? Probably
I
not.
feel like that's unfair. So I'm gonna say no. So what happens?
Fuck.
Here's the sequence of events. Henrietta ran away. Imogen burned the body. Tether snaps. Octavia goes to use her gadget, and you hear Fred scream out, "No! No!" As something else darker and more sinister, any light that has been in the house from the moon outside darkens, and you hear just a cackling.
Oh no, we fucked up.
As just everything that isn't nailed down in the house starts crashing up against the wall and dragging up against the floor. You hear Henrietta cry out further in the house as just stuff is being toppled around. And you hear Fred scream out, "I have to save her! I have to!" And you can feel amongst just this maelstrom of energy around you, Octavia, you can feel the one bit of Fred moving deeper into the house towards Henrietta. What are y'all doing? as just shit is flying around now.
Can I try to use my thing again?
I think the one time is probably the time. I think it probably once it knows what is about to happen, I think it only works
Okay,
once.
I don't think I have anything else I can do.
I look to Octavia and I go, what is this thing?
What is it?
Intelligence and occult.
1, 2, 3.
What's Imogen up to?
Trying to get to Mrs. Carby to help her in any way.
All
8
right.
again.
8
2
again?
10s.
Yay.
All right. Real quick, Imogen, give me a Dex and Athletics to sort of just like get there without getting hit by shit.
2 successes.
Wow. Yeah.
I never want to use digital dice again.
Shit is just like crashing around you, and you were up against the wall, and you managed to get up and start walking through all of this clutter. And you go and try to find Henrietta. Octavia, you recognize this as something that was never of this world. This is something that has come from the Shadowlands itself. Whereas Fred was summoned potentially, this thing came in here through other means. With that 8 you said, you would know that this is the kind of thing that humans inadvertently bring into this world, possibly through deals of some sort. It's just shit's crashing around the house.
Henrietta has called a demon here accidentally.
Was it her or was it the Giovannis who tricked her into summoning such a thing?
Definitely. Mix of both.
What is Evelyn doing as just shit's crashing around her?
Well, I think I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck to do about this, because we can't leave it here. But I don't know what we can do to defeat such a thing.
Also, Prophet is losing his shit, just barking up a storm. All right, Imogen, stumbling through the house, you make your way into the kitchen, where you can see Henrietta sort of like leaning up against a counter, holding a knife, sticking forward. She says, I don't know who's there, but don't come any closer. And you just hear like clattering of pans and stuff behind her.
It's all right. Just take a deep breath. I don't knock over those dishes. I cleaned them earlier for you, so just leave them there. Put down the knife.
You just hear pans like fall and scatter to the ground, and she says, "That's not me. That's whatever you brought in here."
Well, maybe let's both get outside, and then we can have a nicer chat than in here. Hey.
All right. You do remember there is a door in the kitchen leading out into the back.
Would you put down the knife and then let's go?
All right, I suppose. Imogen, you hear almost like right behind you in your ear, "You've done this. It's all your fault. I could have kept her safe."
Well, I'll do that outside for you now, won't I? Let's go.
You hear Henrietta sort of like pushing up against the wall, making her way to the door as the both of you exit out into the park. But you hear still behind you, "I can leave now. I'm no longer bound to that house, but that thing, it's going to follow us."
You want to give me more information than just that?
I brought that thing here. I was keeping it at bay until you meddled.
Why would you bring it here? And what is it?
It's something dark. Something
So
deceitful.
Why?
Henrietta's like, what's going on? Who are you talking to? Is it Fred?
Yes, it's Fred. Apparently Fred called something very bad and very evil, so I'm trying to figure out why he would do such a thing.
That doesn't sound right. I think you're lying. I don't know who you're talking to. That's not Fred.
All right, well, I'm talking to somebody who called it, then. We'll call them Jamie then, I guess. Jamie called it, and I'm just trying to figure out why, okay? Jamie, or Fred, or whatever your name is, just tell me what happened.
My name's Imogen.
What's your name?
My name is Imogen. What's yours?
It was my fault. My fault this thing is here.
Really? Because you just said it was my fault. So, would you explain more now?
It's your fault this thing is free. It was
That's
my
fair.
fault I brought
you
this
know
thing
what?
in.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'll backpedal there. Just tell me why you called it, and what is it?
It was my demon to bear when I was alive. I brought it in. It promised me things. What are you?
What am I? Well, my name is Imogen. I already told you that.
No. There's something else. I felt it when you entered.
Well,
We
I write
absorbed some
poetry
of it.
sometimes. I write poetry, so I'm an artist.
You
I
hear
play the violin.
you hear a tree branch next to you crack. Stop playing games with me. I could feel it when you entered. We absorbed some of it.
You absorbed some of what?
Whatever you are, it made that thing
Honestly,
stronger.
I'm not the best person to talk to because I don't know what's going on half the time. Would you tell me why you called it, though, and what it promised you?
If you can get rid of it, I'll tell you more.
Well, I can't do it, but my friend might be able to help.
It's filled with rage.
Hey, I could help with that. Wait, I can help you. I'm going to put Henrietta. I'm going to take Henrietta to the cart, though, to, like, try to keep her away and safe.
All right. You guys are kind of like
then-
in the back now, so you would have to go around like several houses to get back to the cart. You're like in a park
Okay,
behind
just kidding
it.
then. Is there a way for me to calm a demon?
I mean, we did technically say that you can use obey on things that aren't human.
Jesus Christ, I guess I'll write another fucking poem here. Go back to someone else, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was about to. So back in the house, Octavia and Evelyn, you're still in the sort of living area as stuff is still crashing.
I want to frantically try and think back to my time in the Chantry, back to my research, and any sort of ritual that I could try to do to sort of confine this being.
Sure. No, you know what? The research that you did in the Chantry before definitely outlined a way of binding spirits like this. However, it is a Hecata ability. It is a discipline that you do not yourself.
Right.
Fuck.
What's her face? Alvea? Where is she? How did we get here before her?
You had a horse.
Yeah. That's my
But
bad.
she's the one that's like been wanting this demon, so
Yeah.
not good to work with her.
Yeah.
We have to deal with this before she gets here.
God damn it. Okay.
Is there anything I can roll?
Specifically to see if you can bind it.
Or to try and get rid of it? To try and destroy it? Is destroying making the body burn faster? Would that do anything?
Give me an intelligence and in cold. And what is Evelyn doing at this point?
I think I'm just trying not to get fucking stabbed by shit.
Yes. All right. Give me a Dex and Athletics.
Okay.
4 for me.
Cool. I'm also gonna need death and athletics from you.
Yeah, that's right, because I don't got shit.
I can roll one for profit as well, since so much shit is flying around.
1 success for me.
That was 3 successes, but all 3 of them were 10s.
Holy shit!
Wow!
None of the other ones were successes. I had a lot of dice there, but thank God they were 10.
Profit got 5 successes.
That's my pupper.
Prophet is like booking it around the living room, just like avoiding shit that's flying around.
Yeah.
Evelyn, you're like deftly passing around this maelstrom Octavia.
I'm very aware of things now that I've been stabbed once, so
Almost like on the deck of a ship, you're like stumbling around as like shit is bumping into you. And you have to steady yourself, and you take 2 points of superficial damage as you're just getting bombarded by various things.
This is me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ow!
But with your 4 successes and the research that you've done previously, you know that technically the spirit is free to leave at any time it wants. It seems to be sort of, you can feel like this pressure that had been building up is like at its crescendo now, as it just seems to be taking it out on everybody that's in this house.
Okay. Leave as in the leave back to where it came from, or leave as in to go wreak havoc somewhere else?
Leave as in it has been piggybacked into this realm and was bound for a little bit, spent a lot of time with an old lady, and now is free to roam wherever it wants.
Fuck, I feel so bad, guys. Oh, no!
what happens.
Are the two of you doing anything?
I think I just turned to Octavia and I'm like, if we don't have any way to get rid of this thing now, I think we should leave before the house falls down upon us.
Agreed. We've definitely made a mistake. I've made a mistake. A grave error.
Well, perhaps it would have been worse had we not done this, because what were they going to do with it when it gained its power? They talked about it gaining more power. So
True. Prophet, let's go.
Prophet sort of like starts to lead you through the chaos, but you're like, Prophet's like deftly dodging things, and you're still like getting bombarded and whatnot. Are you going through the front door? It's the closest to you.
Yeah.
It's unlocked and it's
So you escape out of the house as just behind you this like havoc is occurring. You see like shit flying through windows, shooting out into the streets. Just like things are cracking inside. Imogen, got that poem ready?
Yeah, and I'm going back in. God damn it.
All right, so you sort of like step back into the kitchen as just chaos is still happening.
Hey there, demon. Could you please calm down? We could be friends. Just smile, not frown.
All right, roll
oh my goodness.
a rouse first.
Arouse. All right, yeah.
Because you're doing it again.
Fucking 10.
Nice.
Nice.
And then
Composio and aspects.
Four successes.
All right. You feel as you say this, the energy in the house just like shattering and cracking, and you feel the blood drip down your forehead again. It seems to slow a little bit, and just this like faint cackling still emanates in the house as you just hear like echoing laughter, but it seems that the chaos has settled down just a little bit.
All right. Are we good then? I'm gonna take that as a no.
It's about this time, Octavia and Evelyn. You hear at first what was careful steps has turned into a full-on sprint.
Oh boy.
As Evelyn, you see Elvina showing up.
Well, my mask is already down. I when I go out to the street, that's
What? She comes up to the two of you and says, "What is going on? What's happening
I pull
here?"
out my sword and I point it at her and go, "What have you brought here?"
I knew that you would ruin this.
Oh, I ruined it. Are you sure you didn't by bringing it here?
My plans were to get the spirit off of Mr. Carby, and the two of you show up here. What, I suppose disposed of the body?
Well, how else was I supposed to untether it?
You were supposed to let it thrive and let it grow so that I could capture
So you
it.
could use it. Yes, I understand that quite well from what I overheard at your abode.
So you were spying on us as well.
Of course I was. You know who I am.
Your coteries quite annoying. I was warned about you. Well, as I can see that you've messed it all up, will you at least let me harness it now, or would you like it to roam free in the city?
I look to Octavia. Do you have any bright ideas, or should we let them do what they want?
Can I? Because we already know that they're really bad news.
Yeah, but I feel like the demon is also gonna be bad.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that we let her do it.
I'm like, just don't bother Frederick and Miss Carby.
Oh, I don't plan to. It's very obvious that they are no longer with this thing.
Please act quickly. You've done enough damage as it is to their relationship.
Evelyn, you see Alvina kind of like give a little snarl as she runs towards the house into the chaos now.
I turn to Octavia. Shall we?
Yes.
Get me, guys! What the hell?
Where is Imogen?
I believe she chased after Mrs. Carby.
Jesus.
So, Octavia, you can actually feel as the blood magic is being performed within the house. You hear a few, ow, ugh, all right, coming from inside. But after enough time, the spirit sort of calms a little bit. And you feel its power sort of lessen over the house.
It's working. Whatever she's doing, it's something that is beyond my capabilities as a Tremere.
Meanwhile, in the backyard, Imogen.
Wait, and I'm gonna reach into my bag and I'm gonna place in Evelyn's palm a bloodstone, for her to hopefully stealthily plant it on Alvina when she comes back out.
Ooh,
Okay. Yeah.
good thinking. Imogen, you can now in the backyard with Henrietta, who's like sitting on a bench at this point. She turns to you and she says, "I can still kind of feel him."
The demon or Fred?
Frederick. I suppose he's still here.
I think he loved you very much.
Yeah, that's good. You hear in your in your ear once again. It's, "I don't know what you're doing, but it's working."
You're welcome.
Tell your little friends that I appreciate whatever they've done, and to stay out of our business. I made some mistakes when I was alive. I made some deals for the good of my family. I don't think I should have to suffer in death as well, and I appreciate the efforts that you've made to rectify that.
I think maybe it's time for you to rest now, sir.
Henrietta says, "What? You can't let him go."
Mrs. Carby, sometimes our loved ones pass on and it's very difficult, but you have to find other things to do with your life.
I think I preferred
Wow.
I preferred the Giovannis. They at least gave
boy.
me hope.
I'm trying to speak to you from my heart. Okay.
Listen. Now that I know that there was something else with Fred, maybe I can convince Alvina to keep Fred here.
I don't know if maybe that's the best choice there.
Do you want to roll a persuasion?
Sure thing.
Buddy is
Just persuasion?
and charisma. Buddy is 100% gonna get picked up. He is screaming so loud.
He's so sad. He just wants to be part of the party.
I can hear him. He's just like, guys, it's 11.
Where's my food?
Only one. I'm gonna use a willpower.
All right.
So 5 successes after the willpower.
Jeez.
Damn.
I mean, if you... If,
4. I counted the will
Okay.
that one twice.
I was gonna say you'd have to have gotten some crits.
Yeah.
It's a lot of 6s or 9s. I could be looking at them upside down.
I suppose you're right. All right. Give me a moment with him, and then I'll send him off. And she kind of like steps away and she says, "Can you leave us, please?"
Sure. And I just turn around.
Oh.
You see through the house the chaos has like stopped and the lights have sort of like come back on as the moonlight is allowed to seep in. And you see near the base of the stairs is Elvina standing there holding something in her hand that she sort of slips into her coat. And she like looks at you and you both have this moment of just like looking at each other.
I put my finger up to my lips and I say, "Shh."
She kind of like gives you a weird knowing look and then steps out the front door again. She comes up to you, Octavia and Evelyn, and says, "Well, was that so hard?"
Honestly, it was. I don't understand, and I'm gonna try and like make a scene so that she seems a bit distracted by me, to give Evelyn a chance to plop in that dice.
She like walks up to you, finger in your face. "You, Tremere, think you can come over here and tell us how to do our jobs?"
Well, we certainly do it better than you. Did you see what was going on here with this entity that you've allowed into our realm?
Oh, I'm
Poor
sorry.
Frederick and Miss Henrietta
scared
Carby.
caretakers run off, but a woman's
I'ma go
happy with her
ahead and
husband.
Stick it on her.
Give you a dex and stealth.
Oh
Or
boy, all of the dice.
Does she get extra dice?
yeah, do one more as this argument's happening.
Yeah.
You just come over here and you burn things, thinking that you're doing your job. I had maybe a couple more weeks, and I was ready to get that, and then I would leave the old lady with her husband, and she would be happy.
Well, she
That's
certainly
5
isn't.
successes, 2 of which are crits.
100%. You just like slip it into her pocket without her even noticing and walk away.
So the ends justify the means to you, do they?
They do when a woman is happy with her husband. I don't understand why you have a problem with this.
I snarl back at them. Are you quite through, or can we leave?
I mean, I'm satisfied now. Not necessarily the results I was hoping for, but I'm sure the family will be happy with what I have.
Go fuck yourself. And I get in the carriage.
She kind of like begins to walk away and then pulls out a pocket watch and she says, "Oh fuck," and you see her kind of like start sprinting into the night.
Prophet, go fetch Imogen.
Prophet indeed does that. Henrietta has a nice touching moment with her husband for a while, and she says, "All right, I think he can go now, as can you." As Prophet sort of like runs up to you, Imogen, and is now sitting at your feet.
All right. Hello. Miss Carby, will you be all right?
I'll be fine, I'm sure. I'm sure Orion and Malcolm will send another caretaker soon enough. I can take care of myself in the meantime.
Well, maybe you should call them. Have them come over for tea or something.
Maybe I should. Good day, Miss Imogen.
Good day. I leave.
And you go with Prophet to the front. Octavia, as the four of you prepare to leave, you sense Fred's spirit lingering outside of the home for a while. It doesn't seem to want to leave, and in fact begins to walk back into the house. You feel it go up to the top floor and linger on something in the bedroom. You aren't quite sure. And you can head off now. As you go off into the night, barely making it back to the agency. Basically having to, like, rush through the doors and head down into the basement before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
We are going to leave it off at that as you drift off into your daytime sleep.
I suppose she won't be bothered by any more demons, but she'll always have her loving husband. Sometimes we can't make the ghosts do what we think is right.
We're going...
You said goodbye to him. What are you talking about?
Well, that spirit was definitely back in the attic as we were pulling out of the drive.
Jesus, that's not what she was supposed to do.
Technically, you felt it in the bedroom.
Oh, sorry, in the bedroom. That spirit was definitely in the bedroom as we were pulling out of the drive.
Well, perhaps she was ready to say goodbye, but Frederick was not.
We're going to leave off with Imogen's case report.
Excellent!
Yeah.
I hate this. I rode there on Fiend as fast as light. We listened at Carby's and stayed out of sight. As a woman arrived, they both went upstairs. It's ready to harvest. I guess kind of like pears? No. The woman then left, and as did I. Went back to my friends to figure out why. The ghost was there and what he wished. Then we split up to find the clues that we missed. He seemed not to like us, especially Evelyn, up in the attic. She found his skeleton. When I calmed Miss Carby, Evelyn came back. And this is when things really were whack. I punched Mrs. Carby, set the body aflame, but even something more sinister came.
That was so good!
Hey!
Woo!
All
Holy
right.
shit!
Everybody...
How hard it is to rhyme, Evelyn.
Everybody gets 9 blood points, except for Imogen, who gets 11. For her wonderful case report. And that's we're going to leave off the case of the haunted widow.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, housekeeping. The easiest way to support Tabletop Tiddies is to become a patron at patreon.com/Tabletop Tiddies. We've got lots of cool stuff up there, including case reports from this. I've already made it beautiful. You'll find that poem up on Patreon. Lots of cool stuff up there. Right now, if you want to go to check out our merch at tabletoptiddies.threadless.com, we have a Pride collection going on right now, where all proceeds are going, all profits from that collection are going towards to support Community, which is a nonprofit organization in Vancouver that works to improve queer, trans, and two-spirit lives through services, connection, and leadership. Podcast episodes coming out this week are this Friday and Saturday. We'll see you next Tuesday for D&D on this channel with our Into the Revelia campaign. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Tabletop Tiddies. And our lovely DM and storyteller need to steal your names for NPCs. So make sure that you're tweeting using #TTTiddies. All of this information can be found on our website, which is www.tabletoptiddies.com. And every time I'm saying titties, it's with double D.
Yeah.
Exhale.
Bye!
Bye!